why do we see divas as beings, as humans type forms, as fairies and goblins and all that sort of thing?
Well, these lesser divas, the fairies and goblins, as you've mentioned, the water sprites, the sylphs, the salamanders is another type. I'll mention the salamanders first, just as they're fire divas, and in every flame there's a dancing diva, which is we call salamanders. And the reason why I just concentrating on this is because this element of fire, to properly understand divas, you actually have to understand the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. What it means, these are the alchemical elements, and the divas themselves are classified according to these elements. And mostly when we are thinking of the fairies, we're really looking at the watery divas, and they come into this type of human shape, especially those little ones that you see, a few inches high with the wings, because that is the nature of the human mind. The human mind has impressed upon that divic substance the human-like form. And so the little divas, being feminine, have molded themselves in the image of the human idea. The real, as I said before, there are energy forces, energy fields. They take colour, they have an emanatory sound, and that is all encapsulated by intelligence. And this intelligence is fiery in nature. All divas in reality are emanations of fire, which is what intelligence is, what mind is. And so the little ones, the brownies and the fairies and so forth, they take those shapes because of the human condition. And then in places like Ireland and Europe, because of the thousands of years of interrelationship with divas, it's just an automatic shape forming or shape taking nature for them. In a place like Australia, where there's not this type of tradition, the younger divas, I'm talking about these small elemental divas, they are more amorphous, more like bodies of energies with 2 chakras or 1 chakra that has a mind or intelligence. There may be a semblance of face. But many divas have come over with Europeans, and they're all over the place, these young divas and the little children-like divas. But there's no such thing as the pudgy cherubs with little babies with tiny little wings, firing bows and arrows that they have in Christian art. I mean, that's just over the top anthropomorphization. But it's not solid form, and it's the other thing that everyone has to realize. It's ethereal. It's energy fields, energy forms, and they of course can fly and move, and in accordance with the astral substance of which they are part of, and everything is done by means of thought. So it's best to think of them as much more transparent or translucent than they are ever depicted in, especially in Christian art. And it's in Christian art where most people get an idea what these fairies are, the children's fairy tales. So there are the divas that actually look like that, especially the younger ones. But when you get to the greater ones, they still have the semblance of human form, of course, and they're feminine mostly. But they don't walk around on 2 legs and don't necessarily need arms. So the translucent energy field with a face, and normally there are chakras that is the heart of the diva, from which the energy comes that work through human-like forms, mostly because that type of mind structure is, which is intelligence, is both human and diva. We both have intelligence, but the difference is, in a sense, which is quite difficult to explain. Humans are more heart. The consciousness is based around compassion or love. We develop love. We innately love, whereas they are innately intelligence. Of course, when you look around in the human condition and there's so much hatred and cruelty and all the rest of it, you say, well, where's the love there? But the love works out in human emotions. And this is human attribute. The divas don't have emotions. This is purely human. The divas are intelligence. And they're units of intelligence or units of sentience. The humans are evolving this quality of love. And that inherent is within us to develop. And then the love with intelligence produces wisdom. Whereas with the divas, well, the higher divas, of course, always have their share of wisdom, but it's great perceptive insight. They have to work with the moulding, manipulation of substance, of form.
And sacrifice, is that part of their evolution?
Well, sacrifice for them is automatic. They don't think of sacrifice, it just simply is. They don't have, as I said, our emotions. They don't have pain and suffering. It's only humans that have these. So you have to divorce yourself from all of these human emotions, human feelings, human thoughts, and think just in terms of identity, in terms of purpose. So there's a chain of command from a greater diva to a lesser diva, to a fairy, and the fairy automatically and lovingly does what is commanded, does what is asked. They don't disobey, they don't rebel, they have none of these wills, which is again a human trait. As I said, it's a masculine quality, this development of the will to manipulate, to destroy, to build. The divas are builders. That's all they really do. They build, they create, they produce that which is beautiful and harmonious in nature, because they are nature.
So what about when someone says to a child, don't pick a flower or you'll kill a fairy? What does that actually mean?
Well, that's exactly what will happen. The diva will die. The life force will leave the flower. But as I said, it's an amorphous thing. And so the diva enters into the diva stream again and is reborn into another flower. Nothing can be killed. Not even human beings. Of course, we die, our form dies, but the true human unit lives on. We are conscious souls after all, and we reincarnate. And the divas do the same. They take simply another form and continue with their process. So death is a human concept. It's not a concept that exists outside the human kingdom. But change, that is universal.